In this quick start video tutorial, I am going to show you how easy it is to set up video analytics. There are 5 topics to cover and it takes less than 5 minutes to set up. The 5 topics that I will cover are loading up the encoder display, describing the zones and rules interface, talking about the difference between VCA presence and VCA surveillance, the object tracker, and finally examples on applying rules. So the first thing I'm going to do is start IPadmin tool, which automatically discovers all the network devices that I can connect to. Next, I'm going to connect to a device by selecting the device, right click and then selecting Web View, and this will bring up Internet Explorer along with a website security error to which I can ignore by clicking on the continue link, and this will take me to the ordinary encoder display where I can view live video. By default, video analytics is not enabled, and so in order to enable it, you need to click on Setup, select the VCA link, and then click on the Enable and Disable link, and change the VCA status from off to on, and click Apply. Wait for a few moments. As you will notice, you will see a list of new features added to this menu. Now, in order to go back to the encoder display, you need to click on the View link. The live video shows a typical 4-way stop traffic junction in the USA, with objects coming in and out from different locations. Now, in order to set up video analytics, I am going to click on the Setup link, click on the VCA link, and finally click on the Zones and Rules link, which will then take me to the Zones and Rules interface. On the Zones and Rules interface, the first thing you will notice is the tracking display window, which shows all moving and stationary targets that are currently being tracked by the engine. Now, if I double click on the tracking display window and create a zone like so, then if you take a look at the right hand side of the page, you will notice the Properties Inspector. The Properties Inspector allows the user to assign rules to zones like the one I've just created. The bottom of the page shows the event history, which shows all the history of objects that have triggered rules and generated alarms. Now, going back to the Properties Inspector, there are 2 levels of video analytic products: VCA Presence and VCA Surveillance. VCA Presence continually tracks moving and stationary targets and generates real-time alerts of object present in multiple overlapping detection zones. VCA Surveillance is similar, but it also includes a full set of additional filters, which include Enter, Exit, Appear, Disappear, Stopped, Dwell, Direction Filter, Speed Filter, and the Object Class Filter. Those of you who have VCA Presence will have access to the Presence rule, whereas those of you who have VCA Surveillance will have access to the full set of rule-based filters, as well as the Presence rule. For VCA Surveillance, you need to calibrate the camera in order to make use of the object speed and class filters, which are not shown here initially. Camera calibration is covered in a separate video tutorial. Going back to the tracking display, at the core of video analytics is an advanced object tracking engine that continually tracks moving and stationary targets. Each object that is being tracked by the tracking engine is highlighted with a yellow bounding box. If an object trips a detection rule, the bounding box turns red. Each object also has a trail that indicates the path the object has taken. Now, by examining how the ends of the trails intersect a zone, it is possible to configure rules to generate events for a wide range of detection scenarios.